Hi, my name is Patricia, and in each short video, I break down one business analysis technique at a time in under 5 minutes. Let's get into it. All right, let me throw something at you. Have you ever jumped into a project where requirements keep popping up like surprise guests, and suddenly no one remembers who invited them? Today, we're putting a stop to that. A traceability matrix is one of the cleanest ways to link requirements to everything they impact. When teams can see those connections, decision-making gets faster, testing gets tighter, and changes become so much easier to manage. Let's talk about this. Here's why the traceability matrix matters. First, it shows where each requirement came from, so everyone understands the original source, not just the wording. Next, it highlights what each requirement impacts, which means teams instantly know who needs to be looped in when something changes. It also reduces missed test scenarios because every requirement is clearly linked to its test cases. Then, it helps you manage change with confidence. You can see the impact before approving anything. And the biggest benefit? It gives you a single source of truth for the entire project. One table that everyone can rely on. What makes this technique work? It works because it makes everything visible. First, it makes dependencies visible, no more guessing or relying on memory. Next, it builds transparency and trust, because stakeholders can see how each requirement flows through design, build, and test. It supports early gap detection. You catch missing links before they turn into issues. Then, it sharpens testing readiness, because QA knows exactly what to cover. And finally, it enables impact-driven decision-making. Conversations shift from assumptions to evidence. When is traceability most valuable? You'll want to use a traceability matrix when you need to ensure complete test coverage, especially in complex releases. It's also essential when managing requirement changes because you can instantly see what's impacted. Next, it helps align multiple teams: design, dev, QA, architecture, all referencing one shared truth. And finally, it's incredibly useful when supporting audits or compliance because it shows traceability end to end. Here's how to apply the traceability matrix step by step. Step 1. Define what to trace. Decide whether you're tracing requirements to objectives, processes, designs, test cases, risks, or all of them. Step 2. Build the matrix structure. Set up your table. Requirement ID first, then objective ID, process step, design wireframe, test case ID, risk ID. Step 3. Link requirements to related items. Populate each row with the matching IDs. This is where the matrix comes alive. Step 4. Keep the matrix updated. Treat it as a living artifact. Update whenever requirements change, tests are added, or designs shift. Step 5. Use it for impact and decision-making. Bring the matrix into change control, planning sessions, and go, no-go discussions. Show the actual links to support decisions. Here's a simple but real example you can copy straight into your project. Imagine the requirement. R102, users must be able to update their contact details. In our traceability matrix, here's how that row looks. Requirement ID, R102, objective, B003, process P11, design, WF05. Test case TC44, risks 3RK-07. Because everything is linked, when the PO asks to add new validation rules, we instantly know. WF-05, the design needs an update. TC44, the test case needs to cover the new rules. RK07, the risk needs reassessment. This is how you avoid confusion and make changes confidently. Here are some pro tips to make your traceability matrix actually useful. Start by using consistent IDs. It keeps everything clean. Trace what truly matters. Don't add unnecessary noise. Integrate with delivery tools like Jira or Azure DevOps whenever you can. Update it every sprint so it stays accurate. And finally, use it intentionally for impact analysis. Bring it into meetings and let the table guide decisions. And that's the traceability matrix. Clear, structured, and honestly one of the most powerful tools we have as BAs. If you want to track requirements properly and make smarter decisions, start using this matrix today. In our next video, we're jumping into one of my favorite techniques, prototyping, and how visuals speed up understanding instantly. See you then.